Hello, everybody. This is Silver Busters, and this is take two for me. But wanted to get this information out to you. I just saw on Reddit not too long ago, and let's see if I can actually get it pulled up for you. It was on the Silver Busters, not Silver Busters, the Wall Street Silver. And here we go. Bombshell. Demand for silver may temporarily exceed supply. This is one of the threads on it. There was another one that, here we go. Not enough physical silver available for SLV. And this is actually brought to you by the people at BullionStar and Gata.org. But let me kind of give you a summary of the 2 weeks leading up to this, because it was 2 weeks ago today that we had that night where in the afternoon where none of the retailers were actually, the silver retailers were going to sell any silver to anyone. They had the signs up and they said, hey, we don't know what the market is going to open at on Sunday evening in Asia, so we have no idea what to do except to put silver orders on hold and wait to see if there's going to be a spike in the silver price, because that was that emotional high period of time where the whole Wall Street bets community, and I don't even know if Wall Street silver was a thing yet at the time on Reddit, but that wave of emotion was riding high, and all the retailers basically shut themselves down. And when we got that Sunday night spike 2 weeks ago, the price went up to $3 an ounce almost immediately at the open. And then all the retailers basically sold out of all of their retail stock. You could not get eagles, you could not get rounds, you could not get bars. It didn't matter. I mean, the only thing that was left was the stupid artsy stuff that's like way overpriced compared to spot. And even eagles were like $40, $43 for a commodity that was supposedly trading in the $27 to $30 range. So, we were looking at $10, $13 markups on silver eagles, $5 or $6 markups on generic silver rounds and bars. And that was kind of the kickstart to this, which was, again, beforehand on all of that was the whole GME situation with Wall Street Bets and GameStop and AMC and those people writing that up. And I haven't even checked to see what GameStop is. That I think that whole process has come and gone. Whatever time frame there was for a short squeeze, that was already destroyed by the whole Robinhood shutting down of the small accounts and basically changing their rules when the game didn't work out for them. And then we got into this period of time in the last week or so where it looked like the narrative on silver had shifted, and they said, oh, this is just a retail shortage. There's plenty of 1,000-ounce bars. There's no problems and we've got a billion ounces of silver in London that's available, and it's just all these plebeians that are buying their small coins and bars that are out, and we've got plenty of silver, and it's just going to take us a little bit of time to refine it down into the forms that people want, the smaller coins and bars. But then this week, that narrative also started breaking down. You've got the dealers and the wholesalers, and you got a lot of people like Andy Sheckman and the people from SD Bullion out there giving interviews to people, and they're saying, you know what? We can't even get 1,000-ounce bars if we wanted to, and not without either a significant period of delay, saying, yeah, it's going to be 2 to 6 weeks before we can get you anything, if we can get it to you, and there's going to be a premium attached to the 1,000-ounce bars. The spot price is supposed to be the 4,000-ounce bars. One contract on the COMEX is 5 of these 1,000-ounce bars. Those bars are not supposed to trade at a premium to silver. The silver price is supposed to be the price for those 1,000-ounce bars. So the fact that we're getting reports from these dealers and wholesalers and refiners and such that the 1,000-ounce bars are going for 25, 45, 85 cents over spot, for these bars, was just further suggestion that this was not just a retail shortage, but also on the wholesale market. The 1,000-ounce bars were not in ready supply. You could not have 1,000-ounce bars delivered in a timely manner at spot price. And so that whole leg of the narrative started to fade over this week. We had the guys from Bullion Star putting out the kind of bombshell that, the whole narrative that, there's a billion ounces, 1,000 million ounces available in the London market, is where they do the concentration of all this exchanges are. Ready for delivery, so there's no shortage. Well, the guy from Bullion Star puts out the article, and turns out 85% of that bullion stored is already allocated to the ETFs, which are the big SLV, the bullion banks. There's already a name attached to all of those funds, right? It's not just extra silver that people are waiting to sell at any time into the market that is extra, that, no, this is silver that's already committed to those big names, so we're seeing more and more that these ETFs run by JP Morgan and other companies and such, with maybe the notable exception of PSLV run by Eric Sprott, which is a closed-end fund, which means they only issue shares when they have the silver to back it already. That we're seeing a big shell game. We had an interview by a guy on CNBC that says, SLV gets the silver and then they use it to short the market in the comics. It's like, wait a minute, that's not their silver. That silver is owned by the people who, the shareholders. So if they're taking those 1,000-ounce bars that are held by the SLV and they're using it to short sell the paper market, they're naked short. They literally do not own the silver that they're using to suppress the market price with. And that's what we've been saying all along, is that this is a paper market scam, that this is a suppression, that there's not a one-to-one match with contracts and actual silver bars backing them up. And then this is just another admission of the system. Today, we've got this report that was brought out by GATA, Gold Antitrust Action Committee, and the folks at Bullion Stars that say, hey, SLV has actually updated its prospectus. It's the legalese that governs how the fund is supposed to run. And now it turns out it admits that it's having trouble shorting metal and is vulnerable to a dramatic short squeeze. So the amendment warns that the fund may now be vulnerable to dramatic short squeeze, basically due to difficulty in sourcing metal for the fund. So this is a dramatic swing in sentiment and emotions in this whole 2-week period that I've kind of described, where there was this initial rush and the retailers were cleared out, and then there was the smackdown and the reassertion of, it's just you plebes, we've got plenty of 1,000-ounce bars, to the, maybe we don't have the 1,000-ounce bars, and now the definite official admission by these funds that they can't get the 1,000-ounce bars, so that this wave has pushed all the way through the market, and we're getting closer and closer to exposing the fraud of this, fractional reserve system, where a tiny amount of metal is used in this kind of circular naked shorting sort of way to suppress the price of silver. And when this system breaks down, there's no telling what the price of silver can go to, because when people stop trusting this and people are dumping their SLV and moving to PSLV and whatever they can, you're going to end up in a situation where the silver price could go to anything, because the mechanism, there will be no central mechanism for the pricing of real physical silver that's immediately deliverable and informed to you, or on any kind of set time frame. There's already shortages everywhere in this market, and this is just from the mouth of the bad guys themselves admitting, you know what, we can't source the metal. And in that sort of a situation, why would you trust them. Why would you trust that silver in 1,000-ounce bar form is available to you at $27 an ounce? Because, based on all of this, based on all the evidence that I'm seeing from people like Andy Schechtman, from people like Arcadia Economics, all of this stuff coming out is that the silver is not there to back up these funds, at least not in the way they suggest, and that they're being used on the COMEX as collateral for short selling. And that's not supposed to be how it works. That's not their silver. That silver belongs to the shareholders. It does not belong to the custodians. So it's just a big scam, and it's all coming out. And we've got another delivery day coming up on the 24th. And on that delivery day, there's a lot of silver standing for delivery in Chicago on the COMEX. And whether that can the system can actually survive that shock, or it's going to be the end for these kind of broken, corrupt systems that have been manipulating silver for all of these decades, it's honestly, it's the closest thing I've seen to this realistically happening in a long time. And that might be the bell, folks. That might be the time that if you don't have the silver yet, you may never get it. And that's the kind of situation that we're in right now. So I just thought I would give you guys this kind of summary of the 2 weeks. This is on Wall Street Silver, which is an offshoot community of the Wall Street Bets thing. And everything is moving so fast. This is a community that wasn't here 2 weeks ago. And everybody in the silver community is rallying together right now and looking at this situation intently, because this has all the makings of the big one that we've been waiting for. And hey, if you found this video useful, if you could subscribe to my channel, it would help me out. I've got a lot of view hours on this channel. If I get subscribers, if I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll be able to monetize the channel and get YouTube to toss me a few bones. I know it's not a long-term thing, but hey, you know what? It's a hobby, and it helps me out if you would do it. And and I get to show off to my fiance that I've got a YouTube channel that's beating hers, right? So yeah, help me do that. Just hit the little subscribe button and share this, because this kind of condensed information of what's been happening in the silver markets in the last 2 weeks. I do a lot of listening to these guys. I do, I listen to a dozen podcasts and read a dozen articles to be able to spit something out like this to you. And, maybe that kind of summary is helpful to folks who don't have the time to read a dozen articles and watch a dozen videos. So if so, give me a like, give me a share. I really appreciate it. This is Silver Busters signing off. Everybody have a great day and be safe out there.